Last night I dreamed of Mandalay, but I promise you it wasn't the one that's currently streaming on Netflix. I Let me tell you, right now I'm talking about Rebecca, and right now I am in the position of being accused of going into this film hating it, which I didn't. I just have a lot of baggage that I carry into it with me. That being that I read the book, Daphne du Maurier's book, in college. And I've seen Hitchcock's film I don't know how many times. I've studied that film. It's absolutely one of the most gorgeous haunted house stories I've ever seen. So I went into this new version wondering what could this possibly tell me in this story that I haven't already experienced. And the answer is not much. This is colorful and dull as a doornail. And I got nothing from it. And that's partially from the experience that I've had with it. This is a story, again, a haunted house story, which is also the story of a haunted man, Maxim de Winter, who goes to Monte Carlo a year after the accidental death of his wife Rebecca, and he meets a young woman whose name is never revealed, and she is the companion for a wealthy Mrs. Van Hopper. And he meets her, and he falls in love with her, and bippity boppity boo, they are married within days, and he whisks her off to his palatial home of Manderley, which is this grotesque, cavernous, gothic manor that I mean, this joint could house 50 people if it comfortably. And he takes her home where he meets the staff. She meets the staff, including Mrs. Danvers, the head housekeeper. The whole place is haunted by the memories of what Rebecca left behind. She is everywhere. This is a ghost story without the ghost. The ghost, the spirit of this film is that every inch of Mandalay has Rebecca's memories all over it. Her insignia, her logo is on everything. So it goes without saying that this young woman has a very difficult time getting in and becoming, making herself at home here. Particularly was Mrs. Danvers, who idolized Rebecca. And the book hints at this. The Hitchcock film was much more upfront about this. Hints very broadly that Mrs. Danvers was in love with Rebecca, which is ironic because the that angle is more prominent in the 1940 version than it is in this new one. The Mrs. Danvers was played in the original by Judith Anderson and played brilliantly. She's played here by Kristen Scott Thomas, and it's fine. But watching this film, your memories are always taken back to that film because Mrs. Danvers in that film was just an empty shell of a person whose narrow goal was the love and comfort of Rebecca. And I never felt that in this new version. This new version feels like something. It feels like one of the lesser episodes of Downton Abbey, and I never got the emotional pull that I was supposed to get. I never felt that I was in that space of Manderley, those hallways, those cavernous hallways in the bedroom, and especially, and this is one of the most brilliant scenes that Hitchcock ever put on film, the scene where she is shown Rebecca's bedchamber by Mrs. Danvers, and the place is decorated like a crypt with all of her things and her pillowcases, handkerchiefs, hairbrush, all of her personal effects, just as she left them, and her underwear. which in the 1940 version is kind of shocking. But here, I felt nothing. I really did. I felt nothing. And again, Kristen Scott Thomas does a very good job. The problem is, I never felt the haunted quality of the character. The same goes for Maxim De Winter, who's played by Armie Hammer, who is I don't I, I've never seen him give a good performance. I've never seen Armie Hammer give a good performance. I've not. He's to me he's kind of wooden as an actor, and when I saw him as Maxim De Winter, my heart sank. And when I got to the end of this, again, I just felt empty. Not like the book, which opens with "Last night I dreamed of Manderley," and it's this vision of Manderley in tatters, this palatial estate in tatters. Here, I never felt anything. Again, I'm repeating myself. I apologize, but when it was over, I wasn't thinking about it. I wasn't considering it, except that I saw it as, why did we need this? Really, why did we need this? But anyway, that's Rebecca, and I don't recommend it. I'm Jerry Dean Roberts. You can find me at armchaircinema.com. You can also find me on my podcast on YouTube. It's the Pod Bay Doors podcast. The Pod Bay Doors, a movie podcast with Doug and Jerry. I'll see you some other time.